Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are trying out these, oops, there's an error again, of course. Well, we'll keep going and hope it fixes itself. But today we are trying out these anniversary Griffin stamps set, and it came with 4 different, I don't know what this is, 6x4 stamp sets. These 3 have really pretty backgrounds, and then this is kind of more sentiments, although I do like the really cool motifs they included, but we're really focused on these, and these were the ones I bought it for. And theoretically you should be able to line all of these stamps up and create some really cool repeating backgrounds. So that's what we're trying today. No promises that it's gonna work. So oh no, mistakes were made. I put down my stamp holder mat thing from Waffle Flower that holds your little piece of paper in place. I typically have this on my stamp platform, and you can go back and see some of the shorts I created about that. But today I pulled it off so I could put it down and we could use it here. Now you could theoretically use a stamp mat like this one and have the stamp be stable and move the paper, but I decided instead to do it this way and use some of these Crafter's Companion rock block stamps. Let's try this one first. Well, no. Let's step back. Let's see if I can actually align anything. So let's switch over and use this one. I thought I'd use the stamps being moving and the paper being stationary. I'm thinking that might be easier in this case. So first thing I'm going to do is try and line up on this grid exactly the middle, which is actually kind of easy to tell with these stamps as I say this as I'm completely failing at this. Pretty close. I think I got it really well. Half and half here, maybe. Because you can kind of line the line up there. And then we can line this one there. That's about as close as I'm going to be able to get it. Okay. Then let's pull out our paper and we're going to try and line it up on here. Let's see. I also did get the comments working, so just from last time, it definitely doing better. So there we go. At least to my eye, it's aligned on the top there. This is just a regular 6x4 note card that we're using because I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do this, if I'm going to completely mess it up. So we're going to go ahead and just use some really cheap paper. And I'm using VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink. Just getting a nice good stamp going. And let's just start here. There we go. And I completely missed part of that stamp. Well, this is a learning experience. Let's try. Maybe there's like an air bubble or something. Re-stamp it down. I don't really want to get super inky today. But I think this would be really cool to add over. And the thing I liked about the value of these stamps is you can create some really cool backgrounds where it would cost you so much money to get all these backgrounds individually. Oops, I'm sorry. I knocked it with my head. Let me see if I can adjust it slightly. Okay, just trying to line this up. think that's as close as I'm going to get it. So stick it down. Oh, okay. Almost got it. We got a few more trials left in us, so maybe this time, since this repeats even within itself, I can stamp it this way. No, I absolutely cannot do that, but I could stamp it here. And there we go. Yeah, like I was saying, the thing I really liked about this stamp, and I'm going to go back and try and grab that little leaf. Didn't quite make it. But is that I can create a whole background and I don't have to worry about paying, I don't know, for all of these individual backgrounds, it'd be like $140 would be my guess to get background stamps for all of them. So it's nice to be able to get all these patterns, but for a reasonable amount. Okay, let's try this again. You gotta scooch it a little bit. Let's see, I might have gone too scooched. And there we go. So I don't know if the issue doesn't seem to be the stamp not having good adhesion to the stamp block. Maybe the issue is the paper not having air bubbles under it, and so there's parts I'm not capturing, because it seems like different parts of the stamp that I'm having issues with. But I have gotten better. It's the sides that I'm having an issue with. The top to bottom seems pretty good. So let's clean up. If you could figure out how to do this, I think it would just be able to make really, really cool things. And of course, it's going to be a pain to clean. Okay. All right. Why would it work? It's a Sunday afternoon. Okay. I'm not going to worry about this too much. I'll clean it with some soap and water after, which is probably needed anyway. Give it a second to dry and we'll put this stamp back. There we go. And pick a new one. So I picked out, let's try this. This is just like a random extra paper that I had oversprayed. And I thought, you know what? Let's try something. Let's go for it. So let's use that. And we can use any of these really cool patterns. We just used this one, so let's use something on here. I'm kind of feeling this one. Or we could try and do maybe a line. No, let's go with this one. We'll pull it out. Now, I don't think these are photopolymer. This little sticky grid is photopolymer, or whatever the really nice quality stamps are. That's what this sticky mat is made of, and I think this is the cheaper quality stuff. But I haven't had an issue yet really with stamping that I think is the stamp set, so that's good to know. The question is, how will they hold up in the long term? In the long term, I typically like the red rubber, but these ones you have to align so well that I don't know how well red rubber would work. So we'll go here again, and let's grab, let's go with this one. Oops, it's kind of glued to the bottom. Of course it is. Wow, I think all the ink dripped to the bottom. This one might be overfilled with ink. Let's grab it. Okay, well, we're going to try it. It's archival ink, library green. And we'll just stamp. And the reason I'm doing this archival ink is so I can ink blend on top with, some other inks and cover the parts the blue didn't cover. So trying to go with something fun. Now, there we go. And let's go for it. We're just gonna stick this down, and I'm trying to make it look like I cut this from a larger piece of paper. Wow, okay. That stamped just about perfectly, except for right here, but I can see that that's actually the paper. So I think that was the issue with the other one. It wasn't the stamp, which was my thought earlier. It was the paper to the sticky grid. So that's an important thing to think about. There we go. Yeah, so then we can continue to add more over this, but okay. So I'm going to line this one since I did like the whole thing, and I don't think I need to do that when I do these little bitty sides, but oh, a little bit of issue, but I could tell that it wasn't making much contact. So let's do this side. We really only need about that much. Then we just gotta hopefully get it kind of in the right area. Okay, that's close. If you're looking at it right now and know that where I messed up, you'll see it right off, but it's such a busy stamp that it takes your mind a little bit of time to really see, oh, that's a little bit off. So there we go, and then we'll just go here. Nice adhesion. Oh, perfect. Okay. Oh, that looks cute. So we transformed this little piece of junk into something cool. And once this dries, I can come in and ink blend over the top, and the green will not get, it might get a little colored, but it won't blend in since I use that archival ink. Okay, that looks really cool. Do another clean, and I have a few more samples I wanted to try. Just love that sound. And I don't know. This mat says, I don't feel like getting clean today. And then the ink just wiped right off of that. So, stamp. There we go. Put that back on and pick another stamp. I think the next thing we'll do is pull out this just leftover piece of paper. And while I'm at it, I did want to show y'all, do a quick second break. This was the paper, this was the book I made after I finished the live on Wednesday. I'm going to have another live on Wednesday. It's going to be 15 minutes, and it's going to be all the tips that I've learned since making some books. And there's some good ones. So definitely stop by then. But you can see it came out really cool. I haven't finished the front, but that's not a you have to do at this moment. And I'll try and back the camera up a little bit, and we can take a look through this book more on Thursday. But I went through, added all the additional pages I have to color, and I added some page protectors straight into the book so I can add pictures of completed projects, which actually, let me see, I completed this project this morning, so that's fun. And then at the back, what I did is I added some thick pages into the page protectors. This real thick page at the back, and then one more, nice page at the back. And I added the thick page and these thicker pages inside those just to give it a little bit of sturdiness so I can draw. Okay, but I had this little piece left over. Let's try and make something fun with this one. Okay, so we'll just start there. We could do something like this, which would be really cool embossed. But I don't really feel like embossing anything at the moment, to be completely frank with you. Oh, this one's actually really cool too. I'm kind of thinking this one. So instead of embossing, maybe what we'll do, this one does not want to come off the carrier sheet. Now it doesn't want to come off there, but we got it. Use some muscle, and we'll start going up. And on this one, I may use this smaller. Oh, wow. Okay, for sure, doing it upside down is way easier. So, tip, put the stamp upside down, line it up from the back and grab it. And that worked perfectly. I was able to really align that well. So, good tip for myself as well. I think we'll use this villainous purple here. Black is going to be a little intense, so I think this one. Let's go here, and that doesn't seem to want to pick up any of the color. Maybe we need to clean it. And kind of season it a little bit with my skin. We'll see. Okay. Now, that seems to be taking it better. Maybe this stamp pad isn't very well inked. That's probably the problem. But we will just press ahead and make sure I didn't get any over here. And I'm just going to line it up just a hair over. Okay. Oh, that looks really cute. Okay. Okay. Let me rub it once. And I think I have villainous purple ink. We'll have to check. There we go. And line it up, hopefully. Now, the thing about these rock blocks is that they're curved on the edge. I don't think I mentioned this. And so when you're stamping them down, all of the pressure you're putting is going onto a very thin area. So you're pressing down, and it's going across, and so you get some really good adhesion. And so I think that turned out really cool. And that was kind of what I wanted with this piece, was to overlay some of the backgroundness, kind of push it further into the back by making this stamp more foregroundy, having it darker, more intense. So that's the goal here. A nice way to kind of add to some of your background papers and actually give it more of your own taste and more of your own touch. Okay. The only hard part is the lining it up. Once you get it, you kind of just have to accept it if you've gotten it or not. The other good thing about these rock blocks is if you don't move them, you can rock back and forth and make sure you got a really good coverage. I say that as I didn't, but I really don't think that's the stamp. I think it's my stamp pad just does not have a lot of ink in it. Last one, and be mainly this side. We'll just kind of squeeze them together. You must love each other. Get lots of ink. Okay. So this is a interesting way to take some leftover pieces and add to them. I'm really excited about this. It also adds from the backgrounds, usually when it's 6 by 6, they kind of get boring, at least in my opinion. I like how this way you can add your own flair to it. Put it where you want. Oh, that looks great. I'm actually really happy with that. Okay, cool. The last one, we'll do one more, and then we'll call it a night for tonight. Although, I do have all that beautiful ink. Why don't we try something? We'll do... It didn't turn out great, but it's always fun to try something. Maybe if you didn't spray it quite so much as I did, you could get some really cool second stamps, a little bit more watercolory looking. That's an idea. That is for sure an idea. You could do some of these stamps on some smooth watercolor paper in water soluble ink pads, and they would turn out really fun. That is definitely something I need to try. Actually, I have some watercolor paper right here. So why don't we just skip what I was going to do for the last one and do the last one like this. I'll go ahead and get a big one. Why not? Go big, right? Here's some watercolor paper, and on one side it's a little bit more rough, and on this side it's a little bit more smooth. We'll just go ahead and put it down. And while I'm at it, I don't see my roller. Here we go. Let's go ahead and just brayer it down. So get down, turn around. There we go. Nice and smooth. Okay. Now, not this one. I'm thinking either this one or this one. If anybody has a preference, let me know. I think they would be... What we're going to do is we're going to stamp these in some distress type ink. Just ink, and then we'll spritz them. Oh, that'll be so pretty. Oh, in this one you could even like color. If you have some like watercolor pencils or watercolor markers, that'd be really fun. But I don't, so we're gonna have to just go more monotoned, but that's okay. And that one's too big. There we go. Okay. Then we need a cool color. I was not planning on this, so I need to grab a cool color to put this in. Maybe picked raspberry. That seems like maybe a fun color. Ooh, actually, I like this one too. Here we go. We'll go with kind of a duotone. We'll put picked raspberry on parts of it and this fuchsia on other parts. So we'll start with this one, picked raspberry, because it's a little bit lighter. And we can add the fuchsia on top. Okay. Okay. And remember, if we get some harsh lines, we are going to spritz this with water. So, okay. Here we go. And here's where you can really see that you're just pushing kind of one line down at a time. And back. Oh, we missed just a little bit, which is all the really pretty stuff. Maybe we'll just go full fuchsia on this one. Really get some deep dark color in there. And this one's going to be extra hard to line up because it's so detailed. Okay, we're going to go for it. Okay, better. I'm getting better at lining them up. Let's see. Also, this is watercolor cardstock and we're using very detailed stamps, so it's possible not getting the best coverage. Now, I think this one lines up directly over top. We have to really be directly above. So let's try this here. Here we go. And we didn't prep this stamp, which maybe would have helped. Yeah, let's try prepping it real quick. See, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe just a quick spritz. We did something like that. That looks okay. I say that as we're about to spritz this stamp. hopefully it turns out okay. I'm wiping that stamp ink and water off real quick so I can just kind of condition it a little bit. And I hope everybody's having a great day. And for those of us crafting instead of watching the big game, or, if you're overseas and don't care about the game at all, getting ready for another week of work. Not excited, but excited to be here with everybody. If you are crafting, let me know what you're making. Sometimes when I get new things like this stamp set that I'm just not sure about, I was honestly more nervous about my ability to stamp correctly than I was about the quality of the stamps. On this one, that's why we're just kind of playing around, which is why I like to just play around a little bit and make sure I'm not going to make a huge mess when I'm doing it on a video or on a real project, more like. I show y'all all the issues I do wrong. And there. Okay. Yeah, but see, every time it seems to be stamping better. So there we go. Sorry, my my alarm saying we'd hit 30 minutes, which was my goal for today's live. I didn't have a ton today. I just wanted to try these. But on Wednesday, we will be making a new book. And I will be going through all the tips and tricks that I've learned since that first, or 1 week ago on Wednesday when I made my first book, because I had to basically remake, re-glue those last books, and the way I did it, not exactly how they told us to do it, worked out a lot better. So I wanted to share all those tips and tricks with everybody. So I'm just going to do a short live so then people who want to replay don't have to watch through a real long video. Okay, there we go. Now comes the moment of truth. I'm using this Master's Touch Ultra Fine Mist Sprayer. This is a much finer mist than the Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer. That you get much bigger globules, and I like the fine mist. So I'm gonna press it lightly. It'll go about halfway as I kind of waft. So it'll be very fine mist, and we'll see how that goes. Can always add more. Okay. I don't know if it didn't do anything yet or if it's really not going to do much at all. Maybe I need a little bit more. Okay, we're going in a second time. Ooh, that started to do something. And even just that much kind of livened up the ink. Okay, let's go. Let's go big. Let's go one more. Oh, see, that's what we're starting to get some of it. Okay, I'm going to go up, down. Try and get kind of this seam line to... Ooh, there we go. Okay, okay. Now I'm going to go a little bit right here. And maybe a little bit more right here just to kind of balance that heavy area. Okay. Ha! I like that. That looks kind of worn and distressed. Okay, here. We'll grab a little bit of the water up. And I can always heat dry it if I don't want too much more action. But I like how that's moving, and it kind of just distresses that whole thing. Ooh, yeah. Now I'm going to heat dry this just real quick, or at least part of the way heat dry it. Stop it from doing too much more damage. But I do really like how that watercolory look is just so easy to achieve. And I have some aqua markers, watercolor markers that we could definitely use next time. I totally forgot about them, or would have brought them out and we could have kind of done different parts, different colors. But oh, that would be so fun. Okay, definitely a new project idea. I don't know exactly when or where, but definitely going to have another project using even that specific stamp, and I'll use these aqua markers by Spectrum Noir, and we can color in the individual areas of the stamp. But that's how this one turned out, and I think it's really cute. I will probably add some more to this or use it as a background, but I love that. That came out really cool. Let me wipe this down and we can look at all of our projects. Okay, there. All right, so first one we have, the one we just worked on. Moving backwards, then we got this really cool background paper that we added this line to. Oh, I like that. I think that one came out really cool. Now, we're still letting this one dry, but I do think it's fun. I'll add it to my little bin along with this one. And then we've got these two, which even this could definitely be used as like a background part of something. And then this one, I think I'll add maybe some lime green blending on top. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Come again Wednesday, and maybe next Sunday I'll try and think of what project to do with all of this stuff. Um, See you soon.